What if I told you there's an art challenge that you can actually finish? And the secret to this art challenge is making it tiny. I have these tiny little sketchbooks. I'm on day 3 of this tiny art challenge. So many challenges are exciting at first, but somewhere along the line, they become overwhelming. The prompts, they pile up, life gets busy, and then your sketchbook, I've been there. You put it aside and it sits there for days, maybe weeks, or even months. This challenge is different. It's simple, it's small, it's designed to help you actually show up and create. You don't need to buy any fancy art supplies. You don't need to learn anything new. This is about creating from within. For the next 5 days, I'm filling my tiny sketchbook with quick sketches. I'm working in these small notebooks because it takes away from the pressure that comes with larger pieces. When a page is small, it feels easier to start. And the idea is to let go of the need to be perfect. So instead of having prompts that pile up and having your sketchbook sit there gathering dust because life gets in the way, as we all know. This is a tiny sketchbook challenge, and I'm inviting you to join me. By showing up for just a few minutes a day in your sketchbook, you start to notice the marks that you make, what you like, what you don't like, what works, what doesn't work, specifically for you and your own sort of joy in creating. You start to discover your own style, and it's just going to evolve naturally because you're playing with your art supplies in a teeny tiny sketchbook. You see the shapes you return to, the subjects that naturally interest you. So for me, this is, the subjects that I am naturally interested in are faces. And I knew when I started this challenge that I was definitely going to have one sketchbook that was dedicated to faces. The other one is dedicated to birds. But if you don't know what your, preference is, you can just have a few sketchbooks on the go, these teeny tiny ones. And as last night I was drawing, I did a whole bunch of little drawings. I didn't finish all of them, but you can see how they evolved. So these were the ones that I did yesterday. I really like this one. This one's interesting. There's a fish there. I love these two. But again, you start to notice the marks you like to make, like these little circles and the crowns on the ladies. I'm liking adding words to it. So the goal is to build momentum and trust in your creative instincts, which is what I'm doing. You're building confidence, and every page you complete is proof that you can keep going. It doesn't matter if the sketches are messy or imperfect, or even if they don't make sense. It's part of the process. The goal is not to create a finished piece of work, but to build momentum and trust your creative instincts. And it becomes easier as you turn every page and move on. Working this way and starting this quick, teeny tiny sketchbook challenge, it turns your sketchbook into a place of discovery rather than pressure. Rather than putting pressure on yourself, you're allowing discovery to occur, and you know that it doesn't have to be perfect, and you can just turn the page and move on to the next thing if you want to. The best part about this is 5 days is short enough so it feels achievable, right? It's not like a 30-day or 7-day challenge. It's 5 days. And honestly, I wasn't sure if I could do 5 days of videos on this teeny tiny sketchbook challenge, but here I am. So I know if I can do this, anyone can do this. That's the whole point. This is a sketchbook challenge that anyone at any age can do. And it's really just for you to discover what you like and what you don't like, discover your own art style, and also discover your own art process. The other thing that I'm really enjoying about this is I'm discovering how all my art supplies work together, but I'm also giving myself permission to basically make a mess and do whatever I want. It doesn't matter. This lady's lips are totally wonky and odd, but One of the things that I really like I like these two, and I know I'm going to show you in a bit, I'm going to do at the end where I make changes to these. Like I know I'm going to put gold here. I'm going to bring these two together. The other one I really liked, which I think is not my best work, but this one is so interesting because I was doing them last night. My table is, okay. This one is so interesting. I was doing this last night, and while there's a lot I'm not a fan of this, which is fine. I feel like her face is too pink, this is too red, but I like the idea that I have this face with this fish. And usually I do a lot of birds, but now I can play around basically with fish. And I'm probably tonight going to do that. I'm probably going to do that. I also really like this one where it's like a profile, but the ocean is here. I thought I'd bring both pages together with the ocean, but I did these sketches really quickly last night. Now I really like this one as well. The only thing that I'm disappointed about is I'm trying to stay away from adding paint, like acrylic paint or any kind of paint. I'm really trying to stick with my pencils, my crayons, because for me personally, I know that paint is my default to fix what I perceive as mistakes, and I want to really allow the mistakes to happen. I also feel like it's too much red, but I do love this profile here, and I actually really love the flowers and her earrings. So I am going to play with this and add some gold to it, as I will with all of these because I love the gold. I also love this lady's lips because I use like a shiny red gel pen. But I'm going to jump back into the point of this 5-day very achievable art challenge, and I invite you to join me. The other thing I want to mention is I do have a YouTube channel membership, and while I wasn't doing too much with it, I was playing around with Patreon. I was playing around with Patreon, but that is not going to work for me. So I'm going to keep my YouTube membership, and I'm going to start posting in there updates with the challenge. I will leave a link to the membership. There's different levels. You can pick whatever level you want. It's just a way to have sort of more content for anyone who's interested in that. I also have a blog called, like a blog page called KristaIreneArt.com. You can check out my blog post. I'll include that in the description, showing you the first couple of days of this challenge, but I'm going to be updating more photos. You can also find me Krista Irene Art on Facebook and Krista Irene Art on Instagram. I invite you to join me and follow along on this 5-day art challenge. What I'm going to do now is continue on with a few pages so you could see my process. But the best part of this challenge is that 5 days is short enough that it feels achievable. These sketchbooks are small enough that anyone can do it. You can use whatever art supplies you want. You can just use a pen if you want, or a pencil. You don't have to go crazy with all sorts of art supplies. Just use what you have. And if you don't have a little sketchbook, the other thing you can use are sticky notes as your art journal. You can just use sticky notes and draw on those. So the point is drawing every day something really small with the art supplies that you have. And if you take 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes every day, you can actually do more than one sketch. So what I'm going to do is continue on. I hope you join me in some of the places that I mentioned, which I'm going to include in the description of this video. But now I'm just going to draw and show you my process. those are my sketches for today. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please let me know. Thank you so much for watching and happy creating.